So hi everyone, my name is Harneet, and today I'll be leading the webinar regarding the topic Slack. And so what this webinar will be covering will include what is Slack, Slack features, Slack pricing, setting up Slack, and a quick start guide to Slack. So what is Slack? Slack is a communication platform developed by Slack Technologies. It offers a better, faster, and organized way of communicating with others. It's popular for businesses since it makes work-based communication fun and engaging. So Slack features. Some features that Slack provides include messaging, voice and video calls, channels, which is sort of like a chat room that's focused on one thing, and you can store files, tools, and people designated for one thing only. For example, if you want to have a marketing team in a particular channel or a chat room or a family group or even a social club. Another feature that Slack provides is called Slack Connect. So this feature allows users to communicate with teams at other companies the same way you can communicate with your own team. Again, this is another way to chat amongst your peers or perhaps colleagues or people at work. And lastly, accessibility. It allows you to customize GIFs and emojis. You can also play around with the contrast settings. You can also change message display settings, and you can adjust the zoom level. So moving on, we'll be covering the pros and cons of Slack. So some pros of using Slack include that it's easy to use. There's a lot of personalization of visuals, which means you could change a lot of colors, patterns, or even have a dark scheme, also known as a dark mode. So there's also the ability to screen share, which is similar to Zoom. You can also create public or private channels. Some cons include video calls that might be lower in quality in apps like Zoom. Some other cons can include stable internet connection is always required for using Slack. It's more oriented towards businesses. And lastly, it cannot record calls. So this kind of gives us the question, why would we want to use Slack? So through Slack, it's primarily used by workspaces, and it could be used in other ways as well, including volunteer groups, committees, social meetup groups, family or friend chat groups. And Slack's a great way for connecting to multiple different people at once. And additionally, you can collaborate and share ideas as well as make plans for group meetups and other events. So now we'll be covering how to set up Slack. So getting started, firstly, you'd have to download the app from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store on your phone or mobile device. Or you can go to the Slack website to download it directly on your computer using the URL provided in the webinar slides. After that, you'd be prompted to log in or create an account, which you can see on the left-hand side of the screen. There should be an option where if you don't have an account, you can click on continue with email. Or if you do have an account, you can also use to connect with your Apple account or a Google Gmail account. After that, you'd enter and confirm your email address. And if you've been invited to a workspace with an email you used to sign in, you'll have an option to continue with them, or you can also create your own new workspace. It should be also on the left-hand side. Under not the workspaces you're looking for, there should be an option called create a new workspace. And if you click on create a new workspace, you can create a name for your team, and it could be anything. And from there, you'll be asked a little bit more information about your team. And additionally, you'll have the option to share the link with friends or directly add them through contacts or email. And after all that is done, you'll have, I guess you'll be greeted with the message saying, "Tada, meet your team's first channel." And the blank is indicating, I guess, the channel name. And from there, you finish creating your account and your first workspace. And to see your workspace and Slack, you have to click see your channel in Slack to continue. So this moves us on to the home screen. So on the left-hand side, this is how your home screen will look like on the app. And you could see the channels in the workspace and direct messages from people as well. At the very bottom, you will also have an option panel for different features of the app, which from the looks of it, it looks like you have an option for home, DMs, mentions, search, and a U tab as well, I guess, for account settings. Now, DMs and mentions. So when you click on DMs, you can direct message people, you can add teammates, or you can look for conversations. If you click on mentions, which is the little @ symbol, you could see whenever a teammate mentions your name. And we also have the search feature as well. From this, you could browse people, channels, and search by using keywords and possibly jump to a specific message that you may want to look into or possibly look at after a long time. You also have the option to narrow your search by using specific details of your search, so such as the teammate's username or a date. So when you click on you can see your profile, pause notifications, change your availability status, change your status, change your preferences, and you can also see your saved items. So now this moves us to navigating Slack. Firstly, I guess we'd cover adding a channel. So on the website, from the menu bar on the left side, you'll see a little plus icon. From there, you can click Browse Channels. And if you want to join an existing channel or create a channel, you'd have to click on Create a Channel to create a new one. From there, you'd give it a name and a description. And you can also specify if you want it to be private, where it gives you the ability to allow people to join by invite only. I guess you can enable this feature by clicking that toggle button. And after you think that, I guess, everything is done, you just press create and you have a new channel. So sending a new message. So to start a new message, you press create a new message icon. From there, you could choose a channel and contact name or an email address to send it to as well. You could type in your message and press the send icon, which is, I guess, a paper airplane on the bottom right. And from there, it sends the message. Or you could also type in or enter your entry key. So now the Help Center. So if you have any issues or if you have a question, you can access the Slack Help Center by clicking the question mark icon in the top right corner. From there, you can type in your question or browse through the FAQ, which is also known as the Frequently Asked Questions, and also click on Contact Us as well for additional support. Slack pricing. So currently, Slack offers 4 pricing plans. There's a free plan, a pro plan, a business plus plan, and an enterprise grid. So for the free plan, 10,000 of your team's most recent messages can be accessed. You also have 10 integrations with other apps such as Google Drive, Office 365, and possibly more Google oriented apps such as maybe Google Docs. You also have 5 gigabytes of storage. You have the ability to do one-on-one voice and video calls between teammates. And for security, you have data encryption and two-factor authentication. And with the free plan, this entails $0 per month. And moving on to the pro plan. So with the pro plan, you have an unlimited amount of your team's most recent messages, unlimited integration with other apps, such as the ones I mentioned before, Google Drive, Office 365. You also have 10 gigabytes of storage per team member this time, and you have the ability to have 15 teammates per voice and video calls instead of one-to-one, and you can work with other organizations and individuals as well. And for security, all integrations are free, and there's something called authentication or with Google, and the price would be $667 per month. And now we will be moving on to the Business Plus plan. So with the Business Plus plan, we have an unlimited amount of your team's most recent messages. Again, you have unlimited integration with other apps. You have 20 gigabytes of storage per team member this time. And you have up to 15 teammates per voice and video calls as well, just like the Pro plan. With this, you also have the ability to work with organizations and individuals as well. And for the security, you have all integrations from Pro and something called SAML, which is based on single sign-on. And for this plan, it costs $12.50 per month. And lastly, we have the Enterprise Grade plan. So you have everything from Business Plus, and each member of your team has 1 terabyte of storage. Additionally, for security, you have all integrations from Business Plus, and you also have Slack Enterprise Key Management, as well as the integration with Enterprise Mobility Management. And the pricing for this is $32 per month. So similar programs to Slack include Microsoft Teams. It's a cloud-based team collaboration software, and it's part of Microsoft 365 and Office 365 suite of applications. So this includes instant messaging, calling, video calling, screen sharing, file sharing, calendar, and webinars as well. You also have Google Groups. Similar to Slack, it provides discussion groups for people sharing common interests. You can also quickly email everyone in the group with a single email address. And lastly, you also have Discord. It's a free voice, video, and text chat app that's used to talk, hang out, and plan with communities and friends. So this moves us on to the live demo. So when you first want to use Slack, you're prompted with the sign up page. Again, like I covered in the webinar, you have about four options. So you can sign in with your Google account using this button over here, that's blue, or you can sign in with your Apple ID. Again, the button below the Google option. And you also have the ability to sign in with an email, possibly a work email. And lastly, at the top right, you have an option to create an account. So to do this, you just click on create an account, and it should take you to this page where you enter in your email address. So for me, I'll just put in my email address. And then over here, it asks you to verify your email. From there, let me just double check. My confirmation would be a string of numbers, so it could be something else different, but after that, I believe you should have access to the Slack website and you've created an account. But for the demonstration purposes, I guess I'm going to be using a setup example already, so I'm just going to quickly exit out of here and just sign in with the email and password that we used for the live demo. And I might need another confirmation. When you log in, you'll have something like this, workspaces. So for me, I have workspaces for the email I just used, my school email, which I also used a while back, and for the live demo. So I'll click on the live demo. Should be opening up shortly. Okay, so upon opening Slack, it should look something like this. And I'm just gonna go over just a few things. So how to write a message. So you see this little, I guess, box at the very bottom of your screen. You can send a message to text sessions. So I can say, hello, everyone. And this should go directly to text sessions, like that. So the way I sent it is, again, using the paper airplane icon or the enter key. However, if you wanna change a few things, such as making it bold, italicizing it, or I guess making a little twist on it, what you could simply do is you could highlight the characters or the string of words, and there's also hotkeys over here. So if I want to bold, I could do Control B and it'll bold, or I can click on this B button and it should bold the entire message. I also have the option to italicize things. So again, there's another hotkey, which is Control I, and it should italicize the message, or I can just click on the button. And lastly, you have a strike through. So in case I say, hey, everyone, just in I guess, an example. So if I want to just say, hey, everyone, we have a meeting, I don't know, at 2 p.m. And I suddenly remember that we don't. I believe there should be an option to edit the message. So let's say I meant to actually delete this message, maybe send it to someone else. You'll see at the very right-hand side, there should be 3 dots that indicates more actions. If you click on this, you'll have a couple options such as turn off notifications for replies, mark as unread, similar to an email. Remind me about this. So you can set a timer for when you should be reminded about this message. So let's say 2 p.m. is, I don't know, maybe and 20 minutes from now. You could set it for a reminder for 20 minutes. And you'll see a message that will say that this message from live demo will be reminded to you in however many minutes or time that you set it to. You can also delete this reminder as well and view other reminders. So I'm just going to quickly show that. And text font. So if I want to change my text size or my text font, so do hello everyone. If you want to format this in a different way, what you could do also is you can also format it to have an order list. So let's say if you want to have groceries, and you can have an order list. So one, a milk, followed by, I believe, 2, possibly, I don't know, eggs. And you can also make an order list as well. As well as that, you can also make a bullet list as well, similar to an order list with numbers. It's just with bullet points. Along with this, there's a block quote. So if you want to maybe quote somebody, this is the way to do it. As long as with this. If I want to add some, maybe a picture or something from my own computer to this message. So let's say I want to upload something called faults. I could simply go to the directory on my PC and click on the image itself. And you'll notice that the image will pop up here. It'll render in. And you could also attach maybe something like a message with it. So you could say, this is false. And you could send it. Or there's also an ability to edit more than one picture as well. So let's say I want to add, this is false and something else. Again, I had to use the plus icon to attach a picture or some sort of media from my device. So I'm going to add false for one picture, and additionally I could add another picture. So I'll just put in another picture, Squirtle, sure. And again, I could just press the send now button, which is the airplane, or I could just press the return or enter key to send this. So send, and you'll notice that it'll come on the channel that's on. As well as this, you can also add reactions. So it's another way of, I guess, letting people know that you've seen it, or, you know, reacting to a certain message. So with each of these messages, you'll notice on, I believe, the top right, there's a completed, an eye emoji, also a nicely done emoji, which is, I guess, the two hands. And you can also add another reaction as well. So maybe those three aren't the reaction that you want to give. Maybe you want to give it something else like, I don't know, maybe a sunglasses emoji, right? I don't know. And it'll basically just show up here with the emoji or the reaction that you have. And you can add more reactions as well by clicking this add reaction. And you can go down, there's a bunch of emojis, but there's also another option where you can make threads. So let's say I want to have maybe a group project thread. This thread can be basically accessed in a variety of ways. So I click on the group project thread, and you'll notice on the right-hand side of my screen, there's the red panel now. So you'll see that if I want to say contribute to a thread, I could simply just reply to it. And you'll notice that there's going to be a reply here. So you can view the reply directly from here or from this panel. And it won't basically clutter the whole channel, I guess. So just in terms of organization and I guess keeping the whole channel clean, you could do that as well. As well as this, you also have the ability to add a new channel. So let me quickly do that. So on the left-hand side of my screen, you'll see next to channels, there's a plus icon. From here, you have the ability to add channels. If I click on this, you could browse channels or you can create a new channel. So I'm going to create a new channel. And for this, I'll just put a test channel. And for the description, this is really optional, but I'll just put as test. And from the webinar, we covered that we can make some of these channels private where only people can access it if they have a link or if they have an invitation. So this is, I guess, the button to toggle this feature on and off. And you also have this very bottom option or feature, which is share outside Cyber Seniors, but this requires the premium plan, which we don't have at the moment. So I'm going to create the channel. And you'll notice that you could add people. So you could add all members of Cyber Seniors, or you could add specific people. And additionally, you could also have an option for admins to only see the setting, but automatically adding anyone who joins Cyber Seniors. And I'll just press done or the X button. And you'll notice at the very bottom here, we have our test channel, which has just been created. And you can also type in here, similar to the other channel as well. So if I want to access, I guess, my own settings or maybe you want to have some support from the Help Center. You'll see in the top right-hand corner, there's an icon of my profile. It's purple. If I click on this, I could update my status or set myself as away. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I'll be looking at my profile. And there should be an edit profile icon, or I could change my full name, my display name, what I do, a phone number, and my time zone. I could even upload my own photo as well. But if you do have to change something here, you'd have to press on this green button called Save Changes, and then it'll apply those changes that you made to the profile itself. So if I want to get, I guess, help, I could click on this question icon right here, which indicates help. And let's say I want to know how to make reactions. You could just type in the bar and reactions, and there should be, I guess, a frequently asked questions for using emojis and reactions. So if I click on that, there should be a whole guide to whatever you're asking for, essentially. And again, you could also rate the article if it's helpful or not, which, yeah, it's pretty helpful. And also submit your own feedback as well. But let's see, preferences. Okay, so I guess for preferences, if you have the application or if you have it on your device or your PC, you could do a lot of stuff with notifications. So you could have a notify me about new messages, direct messages, mentions, and keywords, or you could really have it for nothing. So in case it's pretty annoying, you could also set it to nothing, or you could have it to all new messages. Again, you'll have an option to schedule when to receive notifications. So right now we have that set to every day, but you could do that to weekdays or custom from a specific time by clicking on the time. And let's see. So we also covered that there's, I guess there's two modes, a dark theme or a dark mode and a light mode. That kind of concludes our webinar. Again, thank you everyone for attending the webinar. If you'd like to learn this lesson with the Cyber Seniors Mentor, please go to our website or call the number on screen to register for a one-on-one phone session. And we also host weekly tech drop-ins from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern times on Thursday. Thank you.